Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? I am doing well. I think what I'm going to do is start off every video with checking in with you guys just to see how you're doing, and feel free to respond. I don't find that weird whatsoever at all, and you should not. Take the time to ask yourself how you're doing and if there's anything you can do to make yourself a little bit better that day, especially now that we're in such like a stressful time. I just want to make sure you guys are doing well as well, and so that you know I'm very much acknowledging the situation and not just kind of like glazing over it, because it is affecting me just as much as it's affecting you. But I still want to carry on with creating the regular content so that there is some form of like normalcy still in your everyday lives. I know that everybody's changing their lifestyles and how they're operating, but when you come back to my channel, you can all still expect to see me as I am here creating content for you guys. But without further ado, let's just jump right into today's video. So for today's video, we're going to be doing a designer shoe review. I haven't done this in a long time, and I was a little bit conflicted as to whether or not I wanted to do this review necessarily, just because I feel that right now all of our finances are being shifted and we're focusing a little bit more on everyday lifestyle or at home things to purchase as opposed to luxury splurges. I for sure myself definitely am not splurging on a lot of expensive things right now, considering the fact that I was originally supposed to have my wedding at the end of May. I was originally planning to not spend that much anyways, but we have since then gone through the process of rescheduling our wedding. That's for another whole other video. I'll chat with you guys on there to tell you what exactly happened. I did kind of want to come and jump onto here and do a designer shoe review so that in a couple months time, hopefully when things go back to normal, if you guys do have access to funds again and you have been having your eye on certain things, you guys can come back and watch this video and have it as a review video with all of my thoughts and opinions. But also just because I find that reviews are very informative at the same time, and it's not very contextual to like one specific time, so you can always come back and watch it whenever you want to, a year from now, 2 weeks from now, that sort of thing. And I don't know, like I get a slight kind of like thrill watching people review their luxury goods as well too, so I'm hoping that I can provide that for one of you guys out there. But today's video is actually going to be a review on my Balenciaga patent BB booties. So these are the booties we are going to be chatting about today, and I'm going to be reviewing them for you to let you know what I think about them. So the backstory on these was that I had my eye on these for the longest time ever. I was actually influenced by Victoria in the Fro. She is a fellow YouTuber and a big influencer from I think London, and she has a pair of these and I thought they were absolutely stunning on her, and ever since I saw her style and wear them, I have been dying to get my hands on them. I luckily had the opportunity to work with Forward, which is like a website. It's like Forward by Listt, and they gave me some credit to utilize towards their site for a project that I had, and I was able to grab hold of these for a very well discounted price. So I'm very happy about that. Now, since I've had them, I actually have not worn them that much. I think I've only worn them like a small handful of times, probably like less times than I can need to count on one hand. I don't know if that already speaks enough about them, but we'll just jump right into the deep dive of the review of the shoes. So these shoes, I have got them sold like I do with all my other designer shoes as soon as I get them, just so that I can take care of the soles. Oh my god, I just realized, oh no, that's not a scratch, that's just a scuff. Life is still good. I thought that I had scuffed the front here where the metal beads are attached to the top of the shoe. All is good, life is good. So let's start off really quickly by the construction and material of the shoe. So as you can see, the shoe is extremely reflective. I'm gonna come in a little bit closer so you guys can see this up close. So this shoe is constructed by black patent leather all the way around, even on the heel right here. So it is a very kind of like form-fitting stiff shoe. If you guys have anything in patent, then you'll know it's not necessarily the most forgiving material ever, but boy is it ever sleek and shiny and sexy. I probably should have actually purchased this in the suede now in hindsight, looking back, just because the material on the shoe is not that forgiving and it's a little bit difficult to wear when you walk around in, whereas the suede probably would have stretched and accommodated for the movement of your feet a little bit better. At the end of the day, I still love these shoes and I don't have any patent shoes, so I'm quite happy with these ones. The zip pull on the zipper here actually is also patent as well, not a big issue. And then the metal on the top here, I believe it's some sort of like plated metal. I'm not 100% sure, but it's really pretty. I think it's beautiful, and it was primarily what drew me to the shoe. Just like when the whole logo mania kind of came into play and everybody loved it, I loved how minimal and simple and elegant these shoes were, and they're definitely going to be a classic that I can pass down in the future. That's the one thing I think about whenever I purchase designer shoes, is that it has to be a classic so that if I don't get enough wear out of it now, I can still wear it in the future, or even pass it down to my kids and they can wear it afterwards as well. I think this comes in a variety of other colors as well, maybe like white, and I think brown and red and even navy blue, but I got the black one so that it's a nice simple color and I can match it with all of my wardrobe. Now, like I said, the patent is not the most forgiving, and because of that, I've actually had a really hard time wearing these shoes and getting a lot of wear out of them. I find that when I'm walking around in them, my ankle does not bend forward. So when you take a step, the top here resists and really pushes your foot backwards, which makes it really hard to walk, which is why I kind of wish that I got this suede one instead, so it'd be a lot more easier to walk around in. I specifically like these shoes because in the Fro Victoria I had mentioned that the heels were nice and low, so it's a relatively comfortable height for you to get around in, and it's not to any sort of extent painful when you're wearing these shoes for an extended period of time. And I do agree with that. These heels are not too high and it's really easy to walk around in, but because of the inflexibility of the actual boot itself around the ankle, that's where I find it really difficult to maneuver, and I have a hard time wearing these boots out and about because it's just not easy to walk in. I definitely would not wear these boots on like an errand day, like if I'm just gonna go pick up some stuff from the mall, doing returns, doing groceries. A, because that's not the appropriate type of situation to be wearing shoes like this unless you want to. And then also B, I just don't want to wear these shoes in a situation where I have to walk around a lot because it does start to hurt my feet after a while. And you would think that because they're heels, they would hurt at the top of the ball of your foot here or at the back where the heel is. But no, it actually hurts at my shin and my ankle where the boot is constantly pressuring and pushing up against. And it sometimes even leaves bruises there. So that's the one thing that I'm not the biggest fan of when it comes to these shoes. And I think it's primarily due to the material of it. I don't know if I wear it out a little bit more, if it's going to become a little bit more flexible and easier for me to walk around in. But right now, I'm not the biggest fan of them. And although they're beautiful to stare at, it kind of pains me that I can't wear them as much as I would like to, because they're so painful to wear. Next, we're going to talk about the silhouette of the shoe. So I was very, very much drawn to the short heel. I don't think this is any taller than like 3 inches max. My preference whenever I can wear shoes with kitten heels is more of a 2-inch size. 4 inches is where I really cut it off because the shoe needs to be extremely comfortable when it's 4 inches, or else I feel like I'm gonna break my ankle. Usually when I'm wearing 4-inch heels, they have to be block heels or they have to have like a really sturdy base. Otherwise, I'm not the biggest fan of them, though I do get away with wearing 4-inch heels every once in a while when I need to for a special occasion, but I don't gravitate there if I don't need to. To all you girls that wear higher heels than 4 inches, kudos to you. I don't know how you do it. I can't. The other part of the silhouette that I truly loved is the toe and how pointy it is. Now this is a very, very retro, like 90s throwback when they love the pointed heel. I think the pointed heel is still very much here to stay for at least another few years before it kind of fades out, and maybe like square toe and almond comes in. I know square toe is super trendy right now too, but I love a pointed heel because it really elongates your foot and makes it look a little bit longer. I have tiny, tiny baby feet. I am a size like 5.5, 6, and I know people all the time are saying, they're like, that looks so cute, it's better than having massive clown feet. But honestly, I like having longer feet because it really helps to elongate your foot overall. It makes you look taller, so the pointed toe really does help out quite a bit. And I don't find that this is too tight, wherein the fact that my feet feel squished and pressed up inside. I do have quite narrow feet, mind you, so that might be a factor as to why I'm comfortable in these shoes. So if you have wider feet, definitely do try them on in store before you purchase them, just to make sure you're comfortable wearing them, because it is a quite overall slim toe area for you to squish all of your toes in if you have wide feet. The Balenciaga plaque at the top here actually does not hinder my foot in any sort of way. It's not too stiff. The material of the boot overall itself already is quite stiff, so if anything, that's more of a limiting factor when it comes to the flexibility and movability of my foot. Plaque doesn't really do much, it's just there and it looks cute. The zipper on this side makes it really easy for you to take the shoe on and off. You just have to like pull it up and pull it down. It's a fairly stiff zipper, so you do need to take your time with it, and because the overall boot structure is very stiff as well, sometimes I need a couple extra seconds to really like shove my foot into there. Otherwise, my feet kind of stay at the top because there's not a lot of stretch when it comes to this shoe. It's a very form-fitting boot. It also feels like you're kind of in like a robot suit, but a shoe form. I don't know how to explain it. It's very form-fitting and restrictive. It feels like you just can't move, but they're beautiful to look at, and I really hope I can get some more wear out of it come spring once it's not as wet outside, and maybe I can like break it in a little bit more so it's a little bit more flexible for me. So we're next going to talk about the color, which is usually what I touch on when it comes to my designer reviews. I got a black and gold, and I already kind of discussed this, that I wanted a very simple, elegant, timeless color just because the boot itself is already so flashy with the gold logo over top. The black I thought was like a really nice sleek color, and this is like a super easy way for me to dress up any simple outfits that I have because it is black and it'll match with everything. everything. And if I have a very basic outfit of just like jeans and a simple white top, I can throw in these boots and feel like I've already accessorized because of the large gold logo at the bottom here. So I love that, and I would highly recommend that you guys go that route as well if you want this boot to be more of like a statement piece, because this definitely is a statement piece boot, but at the same time still kind of understated because it's all black. It can kind of like mesh in with everything. And if you are somebody who likes to dress very like simple and clean all the time, this is a great way to kind of elevate your look without having to worry about, do I have to buy florals? Does this texture match with that texture? This is a great boot for like an everyday elevated look. Price point on this boot is quite pricey, I would say. I think this boot is almost like $2,000 after tax, which is quite expensive when it comes to boots. But at the same time, for a boot specifically, not just like a regular shoe, it's not that bad in the spectrum of designer shoes. I've seen boots go upwards of like $3,000-$4,000. So in the grand scheme of things, it is expensive for shoes. It is not necessarily too expensive for boots. You do get quite a good value for your dollar, I would say, because you get a whole patent leather boot on the exterior here, on your heel, and then the base here is leather lined, and the whole inside of it is also leather lined as well. So you're not wasting any sort of expense for the quality of the shoe when it comes to the material that you're paying for and the price that you're paying for, and it's a very well made shoe. But you do need to take care of it because patent does scuff after a while when you're walking around wearing them for quite a while. So just be careful where you're walking. Don't walk in mud. Try to make sure your feet aren't hitting each other. The biggest thing I would warn you about is that the metal on the top here, if you rub your feet when you're walking, you could potentially scratch the shoes on either sides on the inside. So just be very, very careful and wary of that whenever you're walking around out and about. Sizing wise, I did size up a little bit. I got the shoe in a size 36.5. I actually went into store first and tried it on at Saks and at Nordstrom just to make sure I knew the right size. Since I was purchasing this online, I wanted to make sure I had the right size, so I wouldn't have to pay duty fees, and then if that didn't work out, I had to like go through the process of seeing if I could get that refunded before I get my true size. So I made sure that I tried it on in store. And I also highly, highly recommend that if you're ever buying clothes or shoes online and you're not familiar with the brand just quite yet and their sizing, go into a store nearby and try them on if you can for yourself, just so you can know exactly what size you need. I went with a 36.5 because it is quite slim at the top, so just in case I want to wear thicker socks, if I want to wear this in a colder day, I would have space for my socks and my shoes as well. Whereas in the springtime, if I want to wear like thin ankle socks, I can fit comfortably into this without slipping around. And I also did size up a little bit because of the material of the shoe. It is a patent leather, so I knew it was not going to stretch a lot, coming from past experience of other shoes that I've tried and purchased that are patent leather that weren't the most comfortable. And even though I wanted to make the splurge on these shoes, I wanted to make sure that it would fit relatively comfortable because of the material. So that's why I ended up sizing up. So that's essentially the review of the shoe. I'm not too sure what else I can really share with you guys besides the fact that I think they are a beautiful silhouette. They're pricey. They're kind of small at the top if you have bigger feet than like narrow feet, so size up a little bit, and to try them on in store before you get them. And that the fact that the material is really stiff and not the most forgiving, so if you can get the suede ones, that's what I would recommend as opposed to the patent leather. But I gravitated towards the patent leather just because it looks so chic. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review and found it insightful and helpful. And also, if you guys just wanted some normal content, I hope you really enjoyed consuming that content as well. Let me know if this is something that you guys want to continue to see on my account, because I'm more than happy to kind of like alter my content to be a little bit more socially relevant to the current time, as opposed to creating content that's just always just fashion, because I know that a lot of videos that I post frequently are travel related and vlogs of my everyday life. And since I'm no longer traveling for the foreseeable future, I will no longer have any of those vlogs to share with you guys, although I'm really sad about that. I was really looking forward to going to Italy this year. We were supposed to go to Hong Kong earlier this year as well too, and Peter and I were also supposed to go to Vietnam, and those would have been amazing trips to be able to capture and share with you, but I no longer have those trips viable to me as options anymore, and nor do I have my wedding to share with you guys. But please let me know if there's anything else you would like to see, what I'm doing at home. I'm currently working on a day of my life, working from home, like self-isolation video kind of document diary situation, so you can kind of see in a vlog format what I do every single day since I have been self-isolating and not going outside. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know if you would like to see more vlogs like that. I can definitely document what else I do around the house. We have currently undertaken a lot of cleanup and reorganization in the condo. Since I've had so much time to myself, I decided why not just clean up the space, spring clean. I don't usually get this much free time to do it anyways. I'm usually so caught up with work that this is probably the one and only rare time I'm able to do this and not feel like I'm slacking at work. So that I can definitely show you guys. I've reorganized my entire den, got some new containers and storage units from Muji. You guys know my favorite ones are their, I think it's called the PPP storage containers. They're phenomenal for organizing skincare and beauty and clothes. So I've done that, moved my closets around. I've also cleaned out my personal closet and listed a bunch of clothes in Poshmark. Oh yeah, so if you guys want to check out my Poshmark, make sure to follow me there because you'll automatically be updated every single time I post a brand new listing rather than waiting for me to mention it on YouTube or on Instagram. You can check out my Poshmark right here. I've also been active on TikTok as well. You can check out my TikTok here. It's the exact same name as my Poshmark name. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you would like to see other types of content. If you guys want to see more of me every single day, you can check me out on Instagram and Twitter. This is my handle over there. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Stay safe, stay at home, stay healthy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!